happy were you with that performance and result and everything?
Yeah, I think I've been so happy with the pre-season as a whole, from obviously first day back at testing, when we came back. Players have been fully committed, fully motivated, and I think it played out really in that performance. You're always kind of, you come through the various training and they put the demand on them through the hard work. The week before we go to Spain, then we play a couple of friendlies, then you get into League Cup business, and everything seems to be quite straightforward. But there's always that feeling we've not really played a team of a similar level or better than us. And obviously Sunderland come here today to mark the testimonial for Big Craig, and it was almost a perfect day in terms of for Craig and the family. But for us at Hearts and the dressing room, it was kind of, the whole thing culminated in a really strong performance against a team who have spent over 100 million in terms of transfers to be ready. They're a team that are used to winning. They've come up from the Championship for a reason, because they're littered with good players. And it was important for us, despite us being ahead of them in their preparation, clearly, it was important for us to try and take a step forward and not be cowed by playing against good players, but almost to kind of take that challenge on. So it was the flip side of what we've had in the League Cup, but we have to demonstrate both sides. The team picked was a team with Sunderland's shape in mind. We couldn't all be about us. They're a possession-based team. Their movement's first class. They've got a brilliant manager who does a really good job with them, and they test your organisation. So we set up with a team that we thought could nullify that in a sense, but always with a view of going to a back four in the second half, which we did. And I thought in both systems the players' intelligence was as pleasing as their commitment, and we scored some very good goals.
You must have been so happy with how they played out of possession, and then the way that they won the ball back and then transitioned to going forward.
Yeah, I think obviously when you're all in like that, and it's important when you do win the ball. We won it umpteen times, but it's hard to, sometimes when you're getting pulled and pushed all over, sometimes you're kind of in that little spin. But it's also having that calmness. It's that fire and ice, the calmness to secure the first pass. If you secure the first pass, then against a team who open up to play, you can normally create an opening. And I thought we showed good intelligence. Didn't do it all the time. Times were a bit rushed and times were a bit loose, and the decision making wasn't quite there. But we had enough encouragement for the game. Getting the goal was important. I thought any time we put the ball in the box, we looked a threat. Braga's a great header, scores again. He's not the biggest striker, but he gets on the end of things, brilliant. And I thought the midfield three, Neuenhoff and Spittle, obviously Callum coming off and Blair going on, but Devlin and McInnes were as good as they've been. They were everything you would have wanted and a bit more. And we were pretty secure. We never really, I don't know if Sanders had too much to do in that sense. So the clean sheets is as pleasing as the outcome. And the outcome, as I say, is a brilliant result. It's a good day for us. We're not going to get carried away because we're clearly ahead of Sunderland in terms of the preparation, but if we could beat Sunderland 3-0, you've got to take the positives for that.
So you're saying then it's the McInnes, is that the McInnes, the Hearts fans that you want in that midfield?
Yeah, well, you've seen that. He's a ball winner and keeps it simple, and he's progressive, plays up and down the pitch. You've seen everything why we wanted Ocean in the team today. We're a wee bit light in there, obviously, the midfield, and McCall getting injured and Benny still not quite there. We're a wee bit light in that sense, but McInnes needs to know, because I said this to you, that sometimes in the pre-season games, obviously we've tried in one or two different positions, and sometimes in the pre-season games you don't always get a chance to go and snap into tackles and chance to turn the ball over and show that aggression, because we've had most of the ball in that sense. So the day was a good game, and I said to you, like, there's 7, 8, 9 games, opponents in our league that I can see Ocean being really as effective as he was today.
Derek, Claudio Braga's had quite an impact since he came in. Are you excited when you think about what kind of impact he can have when football starts properly?
Yeah, he's a boy who's so willing to work. He's desperate to please. He's also got the quality to go in the back of that, you know. And but with that quality, there's a real honesty. He's desperate to do well in a Hearts shirt. He's living his best life when he signed here. He couldn't be any happier, and I think that plays out on the pitch, to be honest. So he's really embraced us so quickly. The fans will will really take to him if he keeps scoring goals first and foremost. But even aside from his goal, his work rate and his link-up play has been very good.
Are you a fan of his celebration for Ronaldo?
Truthfully, no. No, but it's a bit of fun, innit? And the kids, the support will like it, and the supporters will anticipate that now, and hopefully we hear it a lot more. I think every time he does it, he gets fined, mind you, by the boys. But hopefully we can hear it a lot more.
A big smile for Cammy when he came off. What did you say in his ear?
I can't tell you, but I'm absolutely delighted with him. He's been first class. Even from my first conversation with Cammy when we were on holiday, I've always been an admirer from a distance, and now that I'm his manager, I'm really enjoying working with him. I think he gives you a bit of everything. Just want him to be a midfielder. He doesn't need to overthink his game too much. The game will come naturally to Cammy if he keeps just getting about his work, and he's been different class.
What was the nature of Callum's injury?
Hamstring, just felt it a wee bit. I think we've caught it before it's anything significant. So obviously played 90 minutes the other day. We weren't intending to start him today, not because we had any issue, but just because the boys who played 90 the other day, we wanted to try and minimise those starting today. It's just a wee bit of fatigue potentially, and hoping it's nothing too sinister, and hopefully we've caught it in time to be alright for Aberdeen.
Derek, do you have an idea in your head yet what the starting 11 might look like for Aberdeen, just because you've got such a big squad and everyone, that even the subs that came on today, played well and made an impact?
I think when everybody puts their best foot forward, and there's a lot of people putting their hands up to play, and that's great for a manager, but it's obviously can only pick 11, but I would rather have. Sometimes I've been in charge of a team, you're trying to pick 11 and none of them looks, the best 11 doesn't look great, and you're not sure that you can win that game. But I think I could pick so many different 11s and I'd feel confident we could compete and get results. So I've got an idea about how I want to play, and some of the players within that, but we've still got 9 days or so for the players to kind of really. Training's important. Got a bounce game on Wednesday, closed door game, to try and top up the minutes for others. And hopefully, as I say, we can, like Sakabori, we can get his work permit done by hopefully Monday, I think it is. We were hoping so yesterday. We were indicated we'd get it yesterday and we could play the day. But so there's still a few to see who's fit, I know, for the games. And if everybody's fit as we expect, then I've got some tough decisions to make. But I'd rather have that than try to find a team that can win a game.
Is Kavori at the point of being ready? I know
he's been playing in Estonia. He's top goal scorer over there. Well, he was. I don't know if he still is, but he's been doing a lot of work on his own. But certainly try to get him integrated with us. We were hoping that he could have got on the pitch today, but it's we've had to wait a wee bit longer. We're hoping that we can maybe make some sort of call on that announcement on that beginning of the week.
What about the Icelandic midfielder Magnuson? Is there anything happening there?
I don't really want to comment on anything that we until anything's over the line. So I think like with all signings, we all seem to kind of keep it in a secret at hearts. Everything gets out, and we're interested in a few players. And until we're in a position to make an announcement, and obviously Kabori's well versed and has been in the country for a while now, so we're just waiting to get him done. And everything else, we'll just wait until we can get things over the line.
You mentioned tough decisions just in terms of some of the players that might need to move on because they might not be getting the game time day one. Now that pre-season and the League Cup's over, is it the time that you start having those conversations? I've
been speaking to the boys regular, and that I can't guarantee certain boys a lot of game time. So these conversations have been ongoing, really. But listen, I want to work with boys who work hard. There's a lot of boys here, just all of them want to stay part of it and motivated to stay part of it. But ultimately, when the games start properly, as you indicated, it's difficult to keep everybody happy. We've got a few injuries at the minute, which is making sure we're a wee bit stretched in certain areas than we are in others. But I think that will all come quite naturally over the next few weeks, to be honest. Players want to play, and if they're not going to play, then it can be difficult for them. But in terms of me trying to shove players out the door and It's none of that. No player has shown anything other than a first-class approach to their work.
Did the game come just too soon for Benny and Borkovic?
Yeah. So we're hoping Benny trains through the week. I don't think he'll be involved in the closed door game. I think, but Watchvink, I think we can safe to say, I think as it stands, he should be fine for Tuesday, Wednesday for the game.
Injuries aside, are you as happy as you can be in terms of the build up to that?
Yeah, I'd like to have one or two others. I'd like to have off the rate. I'd like Kabori to have been in the building and got him integrated on the team, but you know, it seems to be a long way. But yeah, I think when you think about where we were a few weeks ago when we first came back, you know, as a staff, myself, Paul and Alan coming into us, we've got a strong staff here, good support. It's a great club to be involved with, so many people willing to help, and all we want is a winning team, and everybody's working hard to deliver that on and off the pitch.